From sandy beaches hiding billion-dollar secrets to quiet American towns housing more money than banks, the rich have turned secrecy into an art form. Forget palm trees and pirates. Modern tax havens are tech-powered, lawyer-built financial shelters that help the wealthy grow richer while barely lifting a finger. Ready to uncover their playbook? Let's dive in. When you think of tax havens, you probably picture island nations, not cornfields and cattle. But South Dakota has quietly become the most powerful tax haven in America. The state now hosts over $360 billion in assets through secretive trusts. Yes, you read that right, billions in barns and banks. What's the trick? South Dakota allows ultra-wealthy families to stash their fortunes in dynasty trusts, structures that can last for generations without ever being taxed. Foreign billionaires, even those accused of financial crimes, have moved assets here because the US doesn't share financial data with international tax bodies. Oh, and the cherry on top? These trusts can be shielded from creditors, ex-spouses, and even court orders. It's like a Swiss vault with Midwest hospitality. So next time someone says they're going to Sioux Falls, ask them what's in the trust. Next up, we're heading east, where the Queen's secrets stirred a royal storm. Yes, even royalty loves a discreet financial shelter. The Paradise Papers leak in 2017 exposed how about $13 million from Queen Elizabeth II's private estate was quietly invested in offshore funds in the Cayman Islands and Bermuda. Now, nothing here was illegal, but it was a PR disaster. The money was invested by the Duchy of Lancaster, a trust that manages the Queen's private wealth. Some of the funds ended up in controversial firms like Bright House, a company accused of exploiting the poor. Not a great look when you're the head of state. The controversy wasn't about crime, it was about ethics. Should one of the richest women on earth be channeling money into secretive offshore vehicles while her people pay taxes on tea bags? The scandal sparked public outrage and raised serious questions about accountability, even among monarchs. But royalty isn't alone. Politicians are playing the same game, only with higher stakes. Imagine running for office on a promise to fight corruption, and then secretly buying a $22 million French castle through shell companies. Sounds like a movie, right? But this was real life for Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš. In 2009, Babiš set up offshore firms that quietly purchased Chateau Bigot, a luxury estate on the French Riviera. But here's the twist. He never reported it in his mandatory asset disclosures. The Pandora Papers revealed it all, just days before his re-election campaign. Ouch! When exposed, Babiš claimed it was all legal, but critics weren't buying it. After all, this wasn't about a vacation home. It was about hiding ownership, avoiding taxes, and deceiving the public. It's a textbook case of how tax havens aren't just about money. They're about power, perception, and keeping secrets buried in stone walls and vineyard-covered hills. Now let's leave France behind and jump to a Caribbean paradise with an ironic twist. If you ever needed a picture-perfect tax haven, the Bahamas is it. No income tax, no capital gains tax, no inheritance tax, just white sand, turquoise waters, and zero questions asked. In fact, the Bahamas topped Smart Search's 2023 list of the best tax havens in the world with a whopping 86.9 out of 100. It's not just beautiful, it's built for billionaires. But don't be fooled by the chill vibes. Behind the scenes is a well-oiled machine of offshore finance. Trusts, shell companies, and foreign bank accounts are set up in the blink of an eye. And with privacy protections that rival Switzerland, it's a prime spot for moving millions. Or hiding them. During the pandemic, some companies even received COVID relief funds while being registered at shady Bahamian addresses used by hundreds of other entities. Legit or loophole? That's up for debate. Speaking of shady addresses, our next stop is a country that pretends not to be a tax haven while quietly becoming the biggest one of all. Believe it or not, the US has become the go-to tax haven for foreigners wanting to hide money. While American leaders often criticize Swiss or Caribbean secrecy, states like Delaware, Nevada, and South Dakota quietly welcome billions in shady assets. The Pandora Papers showed how wealthy families from Latin America, Russia, and the Middle East moved their assets into US trusts, shielded by lack of transparency laws and a refusal to share data with global regulators. Take Delaware, for example. You can start a company without revealing who owns it. And South Dakota? As we mentioned earlier, it's turned into a magnet for secretive billion-dollar trusts. Meanwhile, the federal government still hasn't signed on to the Common Reporting Standard, a global agreement to share financial data across borders. In other words, the US demands transparency from others, but offers secrecy at home. And we're just getting started. The next destination takes privacy to a whole new level. When it comes to discreet, business-friendly environments, Singapore and Hong Kong are the crown jewels of Asia. They don't shout like the Caribbean islands do, but behind polished skyscrapers and global conferences, they quietly host billions in offshore assets. Singapore especially has mastered the art of selective taxation. It doesn't tax foreign income, as long as it's not brought into the country. That means if you run a company abroad and keep your earnings offshore, Singapore smiles and looks away. The city-state also has top-tier banking secrecy laws, and it's no surprise that it's a favorite among Chinese billionaires, European hedge funds, and international tech entrepreneurs. Hong Kong follows a similar model. Despite pressure from global watchdogs, its territorial tax system means income earned outside its borders stays untaxed. Wealth managers love it, and so do celebrities and CEOs looking to optimize their earnings. So, while others are looking at palm trees, the elite are busy parking money under neon signs and fast Wi-Fi. But what if we told you? There are countries that act like tax havens without anyone realizing it. Let's talk about loopholes. Some of the best tax havens don't look like tax havens at all. Uruguay, for instance, offers 11 years of zero tax on foreign income to new residents. Yes, 11. That's more than enough time for the rich to build a mansion, move their money, and enjoy asado with full legal peace of mind. Uruguay isn't trying to be flashy. It's politically stable, has solid infrastructure, and its tax exemption system is fully above board. Investors who spend just 60 days a year in the country and invest a modest amount in property can lock in their tax residency. And it's not just legal, it's encouraged. Then there's Belize, a small Central American country with an incredibly generous program for retirees and remote earners. You can become a tax resident by spending just 30 days a year in the country. And guess what? Belize doesn't tax global income, capital gains, or inheritances. So for high net worth individuals who don't want too much media attention or complex paperwork, these countries offer something unique, legal comfort with minimal exposure. Now let's head back to the Caribbean, where two small nations offer big benefits for those seeking freedom and privacy. Imagine this. You pay $20,000 once, spend just 30 days a year in paradise, and in return, you get legal tax residency in a country that doesn't tax global income. Sounds too good to be true? Welcome to Antigua and Barbuda. Unlike traditional tax havens that require long-term stays or large investments, Antigua offers flexibility. As long as you have a net worth over $100,000 and maintain a place of residence, you're in. And yes, your place of residence can be a small rental unit as long as it's available year-round. But here's where it gets tricky. You can't use timeshare properties from citizenship by investment programs. So if you thought your investment in a resort timeshare would double as a tax loophole, sorry, it doesn't count. Still, this Caribbean Twin Island nation remains a haven for location-independent entrepreneurs, crypto investors, and digital nomads who want official paperwork with as little friction as possible. Jersey offers zero corporate tax on most businesses and doesn't charge capital gains, inheritance, or wealth tax. Its trust structures are among the most respected and protected in the world. And with some of the fastest internet speeds globally, it's become a hotspot for digital asset managers, fintech founders, and family offices. But what makes Jersey special is its subtlety. It doesn't scream luxury, it whispers stability. The kind of place where old money goes to quietly grow without headlines, audits, or interference. If the Bahamas are for the bold, Jersey is for the calculated. Tax havens aren't just islands. They're loopholes, systems, and entire economies built to protect the ultra-rich. While the rest of us pay up, they hide in plain sight. But now that you know the game, ask yourself, should it keep going? Or is it finally time to change the rules? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.